not bad. It's not bad for you, but you are not me. The lanes that I will go to for that digital horizon. Oh no, I've lost too much. There's no dual setup. That's me in the jungle. That's me in the team fight. Losing games is legion. Trying to complete the path, and I don't know if I can do it. Oh no, I've lost too much. I haven't lost enough. I thought that I saw you backing. I thought that I saw you being. I think I thought I saw you
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Defense of the Patients. I'm Cyphus and I think I sound funny.
You don't.
I don't? Are you sure?
100%. Are you not loud enough?
Yeah, maybe I'm not loud enough. We recorded that show with Chase the other day, and he's kind of a pussy about the sound.
It's actually probably good for his ears and really bad for ours, because I mean there's a 0 through 10 scale here, and I'm pretty much always sitting on like 9.
Yeah.
On my
but it
headphones.
sounds, after so long of doing it this way, this is what sounds better.
It just
sounds right.
Yeah, it sounds better than my voice actually sounds, in my opinion, in the monitor. But when I listen to it, then I think I sound weird.
Also,
but
you're
I think
Roland.
That's everybody. Yep, I am. I just talk all the time about myself for hours and hours and hours.
You just want to get it out of the way now?
No. What are you talking about? Get what out of the way? I'm just talking about myself. I'm wearing a white dotted shirt right now.
That's a fine shirt.
There's no breast pocket.
It's not the pine cone shirt.
It's not the pine cone shirt. There's no breast pocket. Let's see what else. I have a phone that's mine that I like to talk about.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
No, never heard you talk about that phone before.
Except the first day. You get excited when you get a new phone, you know?
Well, should I get my 2 minutes of Dota in now, or do you want me to wait until the end of the show?
Did you read it too? Yeah. I felt like it was a great encapsulation of every show.
New words.
What did he call Proud?
Okay, so this let's give a little reference here.
We'll get it out of the way. Okay,
latest iTunes review. You got to read the whole thing. It's hilarious.
I know him too. I think he's a cool dude. He donated to the not the Patreon, the GoFundMe. This individual.
So latest iTunes
review. I have to start with it, and I think it's my duty to read it. It's called Great Podcast. You get what you pay for. It's free. 5 stars, whatever. That's a pretty good title. Wow. What a great daily Monday through Thursday podcast. Here's what to expect. Monday, from Cyphus. Gets 2 minutes in about Dota. Then Roland talks about himself for an hour. Tuesday, Wazoo tells you what is interesting to him. Wednesday, Woodshire and KBBQ are away making real Dota content. And Roland talks about himself for an hour. Thursday, Ursi tangentializes on all of the obvious nuances. Animal from the Muppets tries to tilt Ursinity for an hour. It is the best ragtag Dota crew out there, and we are all lucky to have them and make our ears bleed each week. His name, pronounced Baylock. You would think Bellic. Yeah. I called him Bellic a bunch of times.
Baylock, yeah.
Baylock, yeah. That is, I mean, if anybody were to write the ultimate review of all 4 shows, that's a pretty good summation.
Especially for the last month and a half.
I mean, that's like less than 50 words, I'd say.
Yeah.
Probably less than 50 words. And it pretty much succinctly all at once. I thought I was the great tangentializer, but no, apparently not.
Yeah, no, Ursi, you know.
I just talk about myself, so how do you tangentialize from talking about yourself?
Yeah, that's tough.
You know what I mean?
Tough.
I may go on different topics about myself, but I'm talking about me, okay. Roland. Look at me, the big guy right here, sitting in the seat. It's me.
So this is basically the start of what should be TI Hype Week on the show.
It's Hype Week, but there's been a lot.
Folks are busy as hell. But we're bringing a few interviews this week. We've got Capitalist in the bag for sure,
and we might be able to bring you some stuff for the start. Obviously, we're going to bring you some awesome content while we're in Seattle.
Yeah,
we're getting everything prepped. It is honestly been, I would blame it mostly on us and reaching out to people in a timely manner, because it was like, hey, we should do that thing we did last year. What was it called? Like what we did like the week before TI.
Well, to be fair, we reached out to some folks.
Hype
Like
Week.
we were supposed to record with LD. He's super busy, obviously, with the summit wrapping up.
Dude,
and then
he's just taping down chords. He's just taping chords down everywhere. He hates tangled chords, and
But he had to reschedule. But said he's going to be there early if we can. If he gets a chance, we'll probably grab an interview with him.
That's not what makes the show great. Those guys are the lucky ones if they get to come on here.
Oh, is that it?
That's absolutely it, and the fact that you'd laugh at that makes me, wonder how devoted you actually are.
Yeah,
they are the guests, okay, at our beautiful, clean house.
I love the guests.
Okay,
so.
We've got no drama here.
All I'm trying to do is give an announcement. So we know we got Cap coming up. There are a couple other folks, big names in the community we've been talking to. We're going to try to bring you as well.
Let's talk about the small names. Let's talk about me.
We should do
Roland
that. We've never done that
Defense
before.
Of the Patience
and
has really been pulling his weight around the scene, and the fact that he didn't get invited blew me away.
No, it blew me away too.
I was looking at the talent list and I kept refreshing because I thought they just forgot to put my picture there.
I thought they'd add you eventually.
Yeah, and I was just refresh, and this is like going on 9 days now. I've just been refreshing.
I sent Ice Frog that picture of you passed out in the comfy chair. So
that saying,
I
give
figured
the plebs
I'd see
a
that up
rerun.
there.
Yeah. Goosh and the dank memes. No, Baylock, thank you for the review. Reviews like this are an awesome way for somebody to read this and say, hey, maybe I'll see how the dynamic is and try and avoid every show with Roland on it. Because I definitely want to listen to the animal from Muppets and the guy who gives away all the obvious nuances. Oh, dude.
So that's coming up for the show this week. Next week, obviously, we're going to be in TI.
Really?
That's right.
It's coming up so quick.
Super quick. And it's like stressing me the fuck out.
Not me, dude. I'm just playing life by the flow. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, sure.
Just finishing up shit.
But while there, so new shows next week will be recorded live. If you're in the area, if you're going to be at TI, or if you just happen to live in the area, if you want to come and see some shows be recorded live,
I'm just going to be dancing. Is what's going to be happening for the Monday shows. There's just going to be an hour of music. I'm going to have a microphone. I'm going to be dancing while I talk about myself on stage the entire time. It'll be great.
But you can come see Roland dance at Royal Gaming Club. I should have, if I were a better show host, I would have prepped
Keep
the
it
address.
rolling with Roland. I don't know, maybe a jazz
Royal
standard?
Gaming Cafe, excuse me.
You mean Roland Gaming Cafe, dude?
That's right. Royal Roland's Gaming Cafe. And that's going to be 4341 University Way in Northeast Seattle. The Google directions were like 4 miles from the stadium.
We didn't get the place that we wanted. It couldn't do what we wanted to do.
This also, we did
and
choose
these guys are
this
super happy. Like, these guys, when we called, they were like, oh my God, please do it here. And like, we have computers, we have like everything we need.
That was why, because we were looking, we could have gone to the one place and it would have been like 1.5 miles from the stadium, which probably would have been really convenient. But I think it would be fun to do it at this place just because, I'd like to have the computers. It'd be fun to sit down and play a couple of games with everybody in the same room.
It would be sweet to get... I know I have a lot of 1v1 mids I have to do, and imagine if I had some
to get a few to do there.
Live in Seattle,
come watch a show be recorded. Come see how it's all done whenever we do things live and in Seattle, which is never. I
bet it would get hard, though. I mean, to 1v1 mid... I'd lose probably because I'd just be thinking about myself a little too much. You know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah.
That will be the last time I hearken. That will be the last time I hearken back to the hearken point where I hearkened back to the hearken of the top of the show when I was hearkening about that.
Yeah. So there's that. Proud on Around the Pit. If you guys missed that, it was airing live tonight. You can tune into Toffee's stream and check that out.
You can.
Cool to see Proud up there repping.
He just had a big smile on his face the whole time and said, Toffee's introduced it as Theorycraft Thursday, and I think that's what I said.
No, Try Hard Tuesday.
Or Try Hard Tuesday.
Yeah.
I get him confused too. Yeah. And the alliteration, And I think it is what I sent Toffee's. I was like, it's Proud from Try Hard Tuesdays.
Oh, no.
But it was like a quick message. Like, he was like, hey, it's starting now. Do you have anybody that you think would want to come on this? And I was like, absolutely, I do. And yeah. And I may have been like, Proud, Try Hard Tuesday. I don't. I do THTTCT, and I get confused in my mind.
Frequently when you upload the episodes, they're
reverse titled. Them. Yeah.
Or I get 2 TCTs one week and 2 THTs the next week.
Yeah, I know. I do that.
It's super confusing whenever I'm trying to find that fucking episode.
It's just like Try Hard. It's the same syllables.
Yeah.
The same type of alliteration. The same letter. You're alliterating. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
I don't know, but Proud was like, oh, apparently you don't know shit. And was like, and went on. And he was.
That's Twitch.tv.
Toffees _ Dota 2. Dong. Come on.
I was just trying to remember if it was the underscore or not.
I got it bookmarked in my brain.
Fair enough. So yeah, go check that out if you want to see Proud on Around the Pit.
Yeah, it was cool to see.
Any other show business about like TI next week or that you can think of that we need to get to? No in-houses this week. Because we just ended the season and we all need this week desperately to prepare to go next week.
Oh, yeah. And I have like finals that I have to do this week.
Yeah. Yeah, that sucks. Should have finished school, bruh.
I'm almost finished with it. I should have finished school back when I was still young.
Oh, like 2 or 3 years ago.
I know.
Dude. You could have finished school before I went back to school.
I know. I had already been in school a long time before you came in the clink with me, dude. And then you came in the clink and got out of the clink.
Well, I was only doing a nickel. You were doing a dime, apparently. So
yeah, it pretty damn near a dime, dude.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
You know what's sad is that movie with God damn it, the guy who died from drug overdose, Saturday Night Live champion, awesome guy. He did like 2 movies with David Spade. Chris Farley?
First, yeah.
Okay.
When you say SNL guy that died from a drug overdose,
you think Belushi?
I was initially going Belushi, and then you said 2 movies, and I was like, I think he did more than 2. Yeah. But like only 2 Blues Brothers and Animal House like were initially coming to mind.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, maybe that was it.
Anyway, what's his name? Chris Farley?
Yeah, Chris Farley.
Chris Farley. At the start of that movie he's in with David Spade, they're like, it only took him 6 years to get his college degree. And it shows that he's like all old at the sorority and everyone's young. And it's like 6 years, damn, like completing it on time, dude. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Like, and he's supposed to be like this dumb character, right?
Yeah.
This big oaf, this big idiot.
He's a dumb guy who finished college in 6 years.
He's a dumb guy that finished college faster than me. You know what I mean? I like that scene.
Maybe don't compare yourself to Chris Farley movies.
I haven't even seen that movie in forever, but that
I've never
scene
seen
just
that
flashed.
movie. I've never seen any of the Chris Farley stuff.
It's at the very start of the movie where they're like, for him, life wasn't so easy. For him, it took him 6 years.
So the .p cinematic comparisons, we have you being... Is it David Spade or Chris Farley?
It's Chris Farley.
Okay,
that's the big oaf. The big jokester, the big dummy. You know
we got you as Chris Farley getting through college, and then we've got Ursi as Captain America before the serum.
The Captain America that's like, please, let me fight. I'm a good fighter. And they're like, no, kid, you got way too many things wrong with you.
You guys could just get to the end of your movies. Everything would be all right.
No.
A little better for Ursi.
I think my dad's company goes out of business or something like that. I can't. Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't remember the title.
Is it Tommy Boy or is it?
Yes, it's Tommy Boy.
Okay.
Yes, it's Tommy Boy. Yep. And it's all about him and his dad owns some successful company, but he's a big dummy.
I've seen like 30 minutes of that movie on cable TV over the course of like 10 years, like 5 minutes here and there.
You don't really need to. Apparently, Chris Farley, what they say, all these comedians that were good friends with him, say that the reason he went down the hole that he did was because of it was an awesome skit, but that dancing skit that he did on SNL, what was it? It was, oh my God, for real, dude? It's okay. It's like the most famous... I just remember
Down by the River, you know.
It's the most famous one where he's trying out to be a dancer with Kurt Russell or something like that. Some like, you know...
Sure.
Hunk. And anyway, he does it like this most... Wow, I can't even talk.
This
to you
should
about
be
it.
a new show. Roland describes SNL sketches because, damn.
Anyway,
it's better this way.
I can't even remember what they called the dancers. You guys will all know what I'm talking about, except for this, like, hiding under a rock for the last 90 years.
Except that most of our audience was born after 1995, so...
Whoa.
Yeah.
They can buy alcohol.
If they were born after 95, yeah.
After today's date in 95, right?
Yeah.
That's like... The kids that were born in 95, dude, may as well babysat those kids, dude. They're just youngsters, bro. Wow.
So, yeah. I'm
gonna beat all you little kids up if you're listening to this show. Yeah, this is for mature audiences.
All right,
okay?
I'm gonna try to direct us somewhere. I don't know where, but I'm gonna get us back on track. God damn it! I want to talk 2 Dota stories that popped up because I think it's kind of interesting. I want to get your take on it. So this is from the Daily Dot. Australian politician seeks to classify CS:GO and Dota 2 as gambling. The Counter-Strike Global Offensive and Dota 2 are at the center of a proposed bill in the Australian Parliament, which would define the titles as gambling and could potentially see them banned from sale in the country. Introduced by Independent Senator Nick Xenophon, Xenophon.
Whoa.
A veteran politician in Australia, he told the Sydney Morning... Xenophon.
You just need to change a few things and put a B in there, and he's xenophobic, dude.
The Herald that the bill is looking to curtail what he considers to be the Wild West of online gambling that is actually targeting kids. He says, so skin betting has been the main talking about a point in esports for the past month with popular YouTubers H3 Productions, shedding light on the fact that big-time streamers secretly owned the sites they gambled on without disclosing it to their young audience. CSGO and Dota 2's developer, Valve, eventually responded to the outcry by sending cease and desist letters to 23 of the most prolific third-party gambling sites, asking them to cease operations. So I remember hearing about that from, like, Wazoo talking about...
I read the list. Dude, why don't you just check Reddit every day, and then you won't bore us with this old-ass news, dude?
This is, like... Today,
no
this
shit,
legislation
dude. But this didn't hit Top Art Dota until maybe
right. But
6
what I'm saying
ago,
is,
bro.
Sure,
You're late.
We're not late because they're starting to take action. Like
it's not a gambling site, and you can clearly outline that. No, that won't pass. Not as a gambling. They may take away all those third-party websites are already going away. Maybe Valve will impose that. The same thing as Overwatch, for instance. If you get a skin in Overwatch, you can't trade it. It's just yours.
I guess, the only reason I bring it up is because it's interesting when legislation starts getting involved with video games. I mean,
it's a good, like, okay, we had a buddy that we were like, for Defense the Patients, when it first started, we were like, hey, we need a logo. You do websites and graphic design and shit. Will you make us a logo? And he gave us a logo, and I happened to be looking on Google Images trying to make a logo myself, and I realized the image he sent us was not royalty-free. And we could have been sued. And he's like, oh, that means you've made it.
Yeah.
So the second legislation is trying to be put in, then that means you've made it.
Yeah. But on the flip side, like, it's legislation like that eventually, like, wound up killing, in the poker world, like Full Tilt and all of that.
But it's because...
Right. No, it's
because of abuse. And hopefully there's not mega abuse going on these third-party websites where people are... swinging things in their favor, but you guys...
Right, but what I'm saying is, like, so there's a weird different solution that's being proposed here, and that is, let's kill the games. If kids can't play CSGO, and they can't play Dota 2, and they can't play the skin-based games... They'll find another game,
and there will be another game that takes off in, because guess what? We want to be different. You know what I mean? We want to... I don't know.
Right, what I'm saying is...
We like dressing up Barbie dolls, I guess. So,
follow me through with this the rest of the way.
I understand.
By killing the root source, like, and what they're what they're really doing is, like, taking a stance on the current free to play model.
Well, that's just
because
Australia.
You can never get rid of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe if it passes in Australia and a couple more big sites fuck up, then that'll be an issue. I don't think that'll ever affect the United States, but of course we have a huge amount of listeners on
the flip side, like video games are a popular target for abuse by certain types of politicians. You get a lot of video games.
The Grand Theft Auto makes you a killer type.
Well, and unfortunately, like, those are the only games that are kind of, like, brought to light when that sort of thing happens, and when they start getting national attention in a way that's not very beneficial to anybody, or at least to the people who want to play the game. And this is a way like what. So people who aren't familiar with Dota 2 and aren't familiar with CS:GO and don't play video games are going to hear these types of stories and they're going to blame the games. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a bummer if that happens because it's people that are ignorant to what's actually the issue. I've been playing Dota 2 for 2 years and I've never once visited any of those sites. I am like, I would say that like if there's a gambler, it's me.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah,
like,
no. Well,
if I can't walk through a casino without like at least trying every single game and then playing some poker, like I've got to try. It's games for me,
Yeah.
But it's games involving money and losing, and
I don't
it's kind of bad.
slots. I'll play.
Oh, slots are boring because it's just a boring. It's a game you lose at, and you don't have really any participation with.
Yeah.
You press a button and you lose.
I'll try certain table games.
Yeah. No, the table games are fun, dude, and especially when you have that like walk up and win luck instead of that like I need to win my money back luck.
Yeah. Sure.
You walk up and you're like, oh, a straight flush on the 3-card poker. Oh, that's 50-1 on my. Oh, I accidentally bet $500. Oh. Like those are fun, but
sure.
No, it's sad that they're ignorant and that they don't understand that.
I wonder what it.
I don't know how you fix it though.
I wonder what it signals for the U.S. More than anything, because there is,
Valve will do whatever it can, dude. Valve will say that.
Well, and that was the other thing I was wondering is like you have these, but these are also American, and in particular with CS:GO and Dota 2. Obviously, they're one American developer. I wonder if there's American developer. I wonder if as an American developer with other American developers, if they can kind of guide legislation.
What I've thought about, pondered often, and that has only happened once that I've known of in Dota 2, is like, well, I guess it happens with Legion Commander Arcana too, or that whatever that is. But the incentive to do better with your cosmetic and making it change. For instance, the Phantom Assassin Arcana. When you first bought it, when it first came out, it was gray swords or whatever. And if you got 100 kills, or I can't remember what the challenge was, or you fulfilled so many contracts, they turned red. And you got the red blades. And so when you were walking around during that small period of time, you were a badass. You saw a PA, and it instilled a little bit of like psychological warfare.
Sure.
Because you said, oh my god, this PA is fulfilled this many contracts or killed this many people. Now, if you have to make it so we can't trade things and monetize things and there is no market for the game, yet we're still playing free to play, let me buy items and let me show everyone how badass I am with my items because I play Natures every single game and now my Natures staff does some cool thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think I would appreciate skins just the same and awe at them,
just the
gawk
same
at them just the same.
If
they made it so
if they were never tradable.
Never tradable. When you bought an item, you bought it straight from Valve, and Valve bought items straight from the workshop artists. So if a Nooksy made something awesome, Valve would say, hey, we're going to sell this. You get X percentage from making this, but it is a Valve item.
I think the community would be in an uproar.
Oh, absolutely they would. Because they want... It's
how
a little bit different
we...
gloating about a $300 sword than gloating about a 300-hour sword, if that makes sense. Like, I spent 300 hours to make this sword look so badass. It's top tier. I'm way good at tiny. That's why when I get nags, it looks like this, and not a lot of people have that.
But does Valve make as much that way?
Probably not. But
I think
if it comes down to it to save their game, and they make it... Because the only way you fix this problem is you can't make it tradable. You can't make things tradable, right? You can't make it so people insert money and then you trade item. Because that's always been the issue. Even with WoW Gold, in World of Warcraft Gold, dude, I would log onto a website. I'd type in my character code, my 4-digit thing. I would pay $20. And the next thing I know, I'd check my mailbox and there was however much gold I bought in there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yeah, I spent real money for a digital thing. And the only way they could have gotten rid of that was so players within World of Warcraft couldn't trade to one another gold. which becomes a huge issue. Because hey, if you need 5
well,
silver,
because that's what you want. Like, I
you
mean,
need
in
5 silver?
those
I'll
games
give
are
you
always
5
trying to
silver.
like mimic real life. They're trying to like create an economy within it. It is a little different within Dota though, because
with Dota, it's more like
it's not the economy is not supposed to be an element of the game.
The economy has been a fucking dismal economy since we basically started playing.
For
so
sure. No, but
CS:GO
like,
is the only.
But my point being, like the economy within the world of World of Warcraft is supposed to represent, because they want you to have an RPG experience there, right?
Yeah.
They want you to go in, and so like an economy
earn it, yeah.
right? But and then that makes an economy like part of the game.
Yeah.
In Dota 2, the economy isn't a part of the game. There is no economy that
it's-
affects us from match to match.
No, it's not.
So, I mean, like, I think it works better. I don't, like, I guess my point being, I don't think World of Warcraft's your best analogy, because...
No, it's not my best analogy, because with that gold, I could buy more powerful things to make me better. So it wasn't, me paying for no gain. It was me paying for a lot of gains.
A pay-to-win element.
Yeah, pay to win, yeah. When I buy gold.
It makes me wonder, so, do you think... So, say Valve does that. Say Valve, like, kills all tradable items. Do you think that like has other repercussions? Does that cut number of players? Does it cut number of Smurfs?
Down. Yeah, our prize pool goes down. I don't. Maybe I hear that they're like people farming games in countries or something for the items that drop. But I know I play a lot of Dota, and I never see anything cool drop. And if I do, it's not for me.
I mean Smurf, or just like creating a duplicate account.
Well, what is a duplicate account going to do other than...
Well, but I mean, if you create a duplicate account in Dota and all of the items are locked, do you think it makes the person who's opening that duplicate account think twice that they're not going to be able to transfer all their items over to it?
If they're anything like me, no, because I've transferred no items over to my new account.
Yeah.
And I haven't played in months, even though every time I play Shadow Fiend or whatever, I think, oh my god, I have a Shadow Fiend Arcana.
Yeah. That
I could totally trade to this account. It's $34.99. Like, oh, I have, a PA Arcana. I could transfer my PA Arcana over here. But it's just like the loopholes that Valve is already making me go through. Just
the hoops, you mean?
Loopholes. No loopholes.
No loopholes.
The hoops.
The hoops.
The hoops that I have to jump through.
They're huge, those hoops.
They're huge. I have to like use my phone in tandem with my computer, and there's a Steam guard, and I can't use two. I don't care. I love the game.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I do like to look cool, but I like to look cool on my favorite heroes. I like what the model I
say we
earlier.
went to start the new account, right? But you had done it after Immortal Gardens came out, and it would never be transferable over to the new one.
I did that already.
No, but you did it while Immortal Gardens was still available, and you got it again on your second account.
Well, I don't have the Predictor Gem, for instance.
No, I do miss that.
Yeah, and I miss that. Like, it was really cool to drop down like I've won 8 in a row.
Yeah.
And be like, there's a little bit of a psychological factor.
Well, and there's a little bit of it, like you're an old school player too, because you at least had to be around since the Prediction Gem was established.
Whenever that was, I don't know.
Which I
want
to say TI4.
Maybe TI4. That's crazy if it's that old. But,
I think it is.
I miss that, yeah, and I miss certain weather effects that I got. I mean, pretty much terrain.
I miss my dead mouse.
I don't. I can't. It's just like, am I at a rave or am I playing Dota 2? Like I need to choose one. You know what I mean? And when I bought it too because Easy fucking Marquise was like
the best salesman in the world,
dude. Okay, if you had $15 and that was the only $15 you ever had in your entire fucking life, and I'm serious, you should buy the Dead Mouse music pack. It will improve, enhance, make your life better. And so I bought it and I put it on for one game and felt, it's always been Death Prophet that's my announcer. It's always been just regular shit. I like it plain, you know what I mean? Except for Immortal Gardens, I am going to switch out here pretty soon though, because the trees hitboxes are too big. I don't know if you've noticed, but when you go to Tango, it favors, because the hitboxes are bigger, and sometimes covering entire trees. And this is a Reddit article that I felt fucking vindicated because I was like, man, I'm a noob. I can never tango like the right tree. And then this Reddit article came out, but the dead looking trees, if you're on Dire side, which some of them still have leaves,
Yep.
but the dead-looking ones have humongous fucking hitboxes. So that means when you go to quell away or something, you're going to quell that one instead of maybe the one that you were literally hovering over.
I turned it off forever ago, and I got like a ton of shit because I played that Broodmother game, and it was like, I can't see the webs.
Yeah, no, the webs...
And like it was driving me mad.
It's like anything that changes the terrain. Earthshaker you can see. There was one other thing that I was like, I can hardly see that at all. Yeah, no, they...
Oh, and I don't know if anybody else has this, but like I have more fuck-ups versus Abaddon's in those games, in that like I can't see his aphotic shield as well on that map.
I don't have that issue.
Yeah, there were several problems.
It's just it's such a beautiful map. I hope they fix it.
No, yeah,
because the trees, and I'm glad that it got to top our Dota, because that may as well just be like their development forum. Like I don't understand why they tried to create their own forum to outbeat Reddit, because you see changes happen in a day because enough people bitch about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or the Battle Cup. That was a disaster for sure.
So then the other thing,
that's pretty cool. The VR.
Yeah, the Dota VR is out. You can find videos of people, like if you don't have VR, obviously, which I don't.
That's really cool that you can see everybody's items, and you can. I mean, obviously, we'd have to be cool. Really descriptive to tell you how cool it is.
But yeah, you should go. The VR hub is launched. They're fully there. They're ready to go. They're doing it in time for TI for those who have VR. You should go check out the video. It's just interesting. It's an interesting way to watch Dota.
It doesn't look that good, but yeah, it's an interesting.
Well, it's also on your head though. Like this looks shaky to us, but it wouldn't be shaky to you because it would be your head compensates for your own movements. Your vision compensates for your own head.
You're throwing memes into the battle there? Like,
oh, I didn't see
that. That is one thing I understand memes when they come to like Jay Gucci memes where it's like, here's a picture and then a funny thing. But meme has taken on this like way of like being.
There's a ton of fucking slang and like memes and
Kappa,
fam. All these things. These are things I would never have ever interacted with had I not gotten into Dota 2.
Yeah, it's true. And I know that my little sister's little shithead friends that are boys. Yeah. Okay. Say fam.
Yeah, fam. Sure.
It's like the new young kid thing to say.
We sound like old dudes right now complaining. For sure.
Whoa.
Yeah. That's the
good thing our audience is above or below 19.
This has been such a weird show, casual show.
It's been less Dota. We could talk about Dota.
No, we did the Battle Cup today.
Disappointed. I blame Blackheart for why we lost. I'm serious. I do. She was distracted.
I bet she blames you.
I definitely blame Blackheart. I fed mid. Yep. I should have picked Viper, and I blame Blackheart. That's my two excuses. I should have picked Viper instead of Razor.
Yeah.
And I blame Blackheart, and that's pretty much it.
Sure. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I'm not like emotionally invested.
Those games are like barely a step away from a pub game.
Oh, they are barely a step away, but I think that makes it that much more in your favor if you play like a team. Ham won 2 weeks in a row now.
Well, they are a team.
I know, and they play like a team,
right?
And like they're really.
But that's a 5-stack that we literally have only played with once before, and that was during the other Battle Cup.
No, I've played with Pegasus a lot.
I'm saying that specific 5-stack, like Yumi, Wazoo, Pegasus, Blackheart. We did it.
Yeah, and that's when we went the furthest.
But I'm just saying, like that's we don't play like a team because we don't play like a team. We don't play as frequently as a team does. Yeah, you
haven't worked out the kinks, but for the most part,
I mean, I don't even feel like we've done that enough with our AD2L team, and we've done a lot more
too. Yeah, we've played a lot on that. Yeah, I don't know. Battle Cup is fun. That's basically it. We don't play with our real team on Battle Cup. We play with like friends, and not that the people on our team aren't friends, but we play with.
I'd be down to do it with the team.
I'd be down to do it with the team too.
Because I think you can queue like as late as like 9 Eastern, right?
I think it's an hour after, so it'd be 9 Eastern. Yeah.
So we could probably wait for Joy still. He couldn't make like that 8 time frame, but I bet he could do 9.
And that would be fun to do because we have been playing a lot better, and it's cool because when one person is kind of exhausted, we have like 2 people that are drafting generally, but really the whole team's drafting. Our drafts aren't as bad as our BC drafts, like the Battle Cup drafts. I feel like I've lost 4 games now in Battle Cup just due to bad drafts.
Yeah.
What was that?
I'm sorry. The Daily Dot article had an ad pop up. You know how that happens?
What's the Daily Dot?
They're the
No, I'm just joking. I know what the Daily Dot is. I visit that website all the time. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we just did that intro and got whooped in the Battle Cup, and now it's just like...
You feel downtrodden?
I don't feel downtrodden. I feel the most love for Dota I've ever felt. Having randomed Night Stalker recently, having randomed Terrorblade recently, and realizing how... In ranked, yeah. And realizing how cool those heroes are and how much MMR they can really get you when you go like 21-3. And I'd like to talk about myself for a little longer.
Sure, yeah. How much MMR do they get you when you're 3-21?
Was I 3-21?
No, I mean when you're 21-3, and then you're 3-21. You know what I mean?
Was I 3-21
no.
in the Battle Cup? I was like, oh my god, I died 21 times in the Battle Cup?
You died a lot. Like
I
won't lie. I mean, I'll pull it up if you want.
Not for a lack of me saying help a million times.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm with you. I'm with you that like that. I feel like what everybody always does in those situations is they freak out, and like, don't get me wrong, like we've been in plenty of situations where Wazoo's lane is being lost, and he's why wasn't there a rotation down to my lane? Why wasn't there a rotation down to my lane? Why didn't that happen? I feel like you have to do one of 2 things, and that is either concede the lane like we lost it, and be like, hey, we lost mid.
Okay, yeah. I'll just concede mid. And then go where as Razor at 3 minutes in because I'm getting wrecked by somebody who is way, way better than me on a hero that he's way, way, way more comfortable with. And one support keeps coming up when freaking Andrew has a free lane. Blackheart, like, couldn't walk away from him, dude. She was, like, magnetic, like, forced to just always stand within 100 units of him. And I was like, okay, when I need a gank, I need both fucking supports, is all I was saying. One of you is not enough right now.
No, I'm with you.
We need 2 of you.
I was going to say, on the flip side, if we weren't going to concede the lane, then we needed to rotate both supports.
And what kept happening is you'd die or I'd die mid, and then there'd be one person mid again, getting owned by the same guy who is now getting double the experience we are.
Yeah.
And maybe even more than that because he's killing us. And definitely getting a shitload more gold than us. What needed to happen is the second I said, hey, I need a gank mid, you guys move mid and kill the Invoker. And then it's not as big of a deal. My lane just got a little easier. And then maybe once it's starting to get out of control again, hey, TP mid. TP at the tier 2 mid. Yeah. Buy a smoke. Wrap around him. I don't fucking know. You're supports. You're supposed to be doing the cool plays. It's a supports meta.
Well, I'm with you. I 100%.
And I didn't play great in that lane, but the thing is I was totally outclassed by a dude who only played Invoker and was quantifiably 1,000 points higher than me on a hero that I never play. Razor, I never play. Viper, I play more than Razor, and I never play Viper. So it's like, and we're like lane dominator, and then finally it came down to nope, the pick's Razor because there is a Dragon Knight and he does physical damage, and because I can steal damage from anybody, whether they're physical or ranged, we picked Razor instead of Viper, which was definitely the better pick, and I was totally wanting Viper.
We had last pick for anybody out there who wants to contemplate it or let us know what the pick was. We had last pick. And we ended up picking Razor. We had Lion, Darkseer, Sven, and Disruptor. And on the enemy team, they had Legion Commander, Dragon Knight, Tidehunter, AA, and Invoker.
And I was mid against the Invoker as Razor. And there was no lane dominating going on there, except me getting dominated. From, like, the second go. Like, it was okay for the first wave, it was like... I was denying, got a couple last hits, he was denying, and then, once the level started coming on Invoker, it was over. I mean, I was cold snapped. He was good with the whole fucking cold snap spirits. So the cold snap and the spirits hit you and then hits you and then you fucking die. And then after I die once, he had an urn the whole time. So now he has 2 urn charges. So now when he cold snaps me, I'm dealing with an urn as well. And so, yeah, it crumbled extremely, extremely quick. Then you came there and just kind of like stood there so he could see you.
No, I came there, wrapped around, and threw a ward up behind him and thought Blackheart was coming over. But then she ended up rotating. You
eventually did show in lane and just...
Yeah, I mean, eventually. Well, the reason I showed
there's no ever point to show in lane. What's the point to ever show in lane? Unless if he's still alive. Like, and you're on the other side of the river.
Just to harass?
You weren't harassing, though. Like, he was, like, 6 levels ahead of you at that point.
Sure. Well...
Like, I think you guys had to get a quick, concise kill.
A lot earlier.
It needed to be a quick, concise kill. A lion stun into whatever the fuck you could do, into whatever the fuck I could do, into him dying, hopefully. And that didn't happen. And we were like, oh, it's okay. We won 2 out of 3 lanes. And that's where I go, bullshit. That doesn't mean you won the game if you won 2 out of 3 lanes. It depends on what hero is doing what. And guess what? After things started to stabilize and it was like, oh, it's okay, we're able to farm mid now, the Invoker was bot, killing people. The Invoker was top, killing people. The guy was worth 1,700 gold when we killed him, and he died once in the game, and we don't have our supports buzzing like bees around him. Tell me, like, where's the logic in that?
I don't know.
Where's the logic in not killing the dude who was killing everybody?
If we're going to get into it and we're going to get serious about it.
Yeah, we are.
Okay, I think you were out of position a fuckload. Mid as Razor.
Let's watch it. I mean...
I think you were out of position a ton of times, and if I recall correctly, the first time I ended up showing in lane was because you were crossing the river.
I don't want to play blame game if that's what you're going back and forth.
I'm just saying, like, if you wanted, like, so... In another part of that, the other reason that I went mid, and yes, I thought Blackheart was coming there. She was trying to rotate up through the river, and I was up on the cliff behind. She grabbed an illusion rune, and the Dragon Knight was back and super out of position. And Wazoo...
Did they kill him?
Wazoo asked her to come back. I don't know.
No,
I don't remember.
No, they didn't. I remember that when I clicked down at Lion and saw that she was there. No.
You're right. Like, an audible got called for her to go back.
Not just one. Not just 2. Not just 7, not just 15, not just 25. Right. I was literally on the comms.
I get through it. So an audible.
I don't need you to walk me through it.
Well,
I was
you do.
ramming on the gas saying, "Help me."
I know. An audible got called there, which is fine. Like sometimes that's going to happen. And yeah, maybe it didn't make a ton of sense because I was already in position mid. Regardless, she took the opportunity because she had the illusion runes. They thought that they had the illusion runes. She thought that they could take them down. And I'd have to go back and watch to determine whether or not they did. But that was the first thing that happened.
The Lion illusion runes against the Dragon Knight.
And
really,
then
really
I didn't want to be where I was because I was up on that cliff behind mid, and they'd been rotating the Tidehunter down to the mid quite a bit to assist with killing you. So I decided it was time to show in lane as you pushed up the wave, and I tried to back up with you. Then we got caught out. You ended up dying. I pulled back. You came back into lane. I can't remember what happened.
Probably died again, and then probably died again, then probably died again.
Well, and I know I died somewhere in there.
And died again, and then died again.
Somewhere in there I died, and then and you were like, hey, we got to kill this guy. Blackheart came mid, and you two went on him.
Meanwhile, though, the whole time I'm getting,
oh no,
we're winning both lanes.
That's right.
We're winning both lanes. Went back. We're winning both lanes. And it's like, let's win all 3 lanes.
That's not what was happening. No, yeah, maybe you can't win all 3 lanes, and that's okay. We still could have won that game.
Dude, just... All I ask is for people to objectively look at the safe lane and see if they needed 2 supports in safe lane.
Here's what happened there. Well, yeah, we could have completely phased out the Dragon Knight. We both stayed down there. There's definitely an argument for that.
We could have butterfly effect on the Invoker.
Sure. So, no, but what I now recall, I was low on fucking mana, so I ended up going back. Blackheart made the rotation mid, but you guys didn't wait for me to refill on mana and get back.
You're the shot caller. You're the shot caller.
I'm not the shot caller there.
Why?
I'm
You're
responding to your shot call.
I'm mid.
And I
don't
tell
know what the fuck's going on.
And in that moment, I did tell you guys not to go. I said, I'm not there. Don't go yet.
Well, that's something we can never prove.
And you still went. I know. That's the shittiest thing about any of this.
That's something we can never, ever prove. But
like, you guys went, and that's okay. That happens. Like, sometimes you go, you guys didn't get the kill.
Somebody in that position
temporarily
has to say, somebody who is looking at everything and has a good grasp of everything, somebody that's clicking all around, which was not me because I was getting owned, needs to make those calls.
Right.
And all
and
I
guess
said
what
was
I'm saying
help.
is, like,
all I said was
think
SOS.
what you're suffering from a little bit is, and it happens to everybody, and everybody feel like it's hard to not feel like losing your lane will lose the game.
It did. It did, though.
It did in that instance because I don't think, like...
Because the Invoker went fucking ham, and I was like, he's their best player by far. Let's fucking take out the Invoker. They got the Invoker. We let the Invoker through. Let's get rid of their best fucking player. Please gank. Please gank. It's their best player, the Invoker.
All right,
this is literally what the comms were like.
At 11 minutes in, you are 0-4.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, I'm surprised I'm not 0-7, dude. Like... This dude sunstriked me right in front of the fountain. Cold snapped me right in front of the fountain. Tidehunter came down and ravaged me right in front of
and it's
right in front of the tier 1.
6-1.
And it's you guys made who'd you kill? You killed the Legion Commander once. Oh yeah, the offlane did. Pegasus killed Legion Commander once by this point. So you guys are quibbling with somebody that has 1 million armor, Dragon Knight, and a crazy amount of regen, while I'm getting my ass beat in mid.
No, yeah, right. Or
like it's just there's no like logical argument for you guys standing around like a bunch of doorknobs. Bottom.
Or hey, how about all right? I'm gonna get a little heated here. I'm gonna say, how about you not be a fucking doorknob and cross the goddamn river and be out of position all the goddamn time? Why have you fed 4 deaths?
I was not across the river when I died.
Why are you feeding 4 deaths?
Because I got outplayed by somebody better than me, and I needed help by other people. Because there's such thing as invokers that are better than me. Especially when I'm playing Razor. Right, what a fucking dumb and fucking condescending question to ask.
I'm just saying,
no shit, I died.
That gets said to me.
I got outplayed.
That gets said to me all the time.
Okay, guess what? When you die, you generally get fucking outplayed. What a fucking dumb question.
No,
serious.
That's not... No.
Fucking dumb question. I needed help. I needed our 2,000 MMRs to beat a 4,000 MMR, dude. I was getting owned and telling everybody that. Look, and for you to say, maybe you couldn't be out of position. I'm a 2K fucking player. No, of course I'm out of position.
That's fine. That's fine.
You just triggered me hard.
I know.
Dude. Because it's I am a 2K fucking player. I'm gonna be out of position like a 2K fucking player. No shit. You don't condescend to me like that.
But I'm gonna say to you, why? You're giving a ton of shit to 2K supports.
But at least I gave you guys an audible. All you have to do is move.
Right.
A 2K is capable of teleporting to a middle tower. A 2K is maybe not knowing the nuances of a 4K invoker, fucking him up, dude. There's a big difference between my laning phase and you guys buying a teleport scroll and throwing your spells on an invoker. There's a humongous fucking difference. I'm going to
find out when I join
Doing this on the show is useless. Just give people the match ID or fucking... I don't even care to continue this. All right. I didn't care to continue that. And so I pressed space bar.
And here's the match ID.
In a fit of rage.
Here's the match ID.
I'm sorry. I haven't been that mad in a long time.
The match ID is 254-132-0232.
Just put it in the notes. If people care enough, they'll go to the fucking notes. Yeah, I got way triggered by that because,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to trigger you.
No,
I didn't.
Getting beat by a 4K invoker.
I get it, dude.
What trigger?
And it's not. I know we're talking about it, and you're watching it happen on the screen. I get it.
We're watching a fucking replay while we're recording. Come on, dude.
No, I mean, yeah.
No, just so all you guys know, I kicked Denny's ass in between that. It may not have sounded like it, but I just paused it and then fucking kicked his ass hardcore.
We'll go back, go through some fighting sound effects in there
hard. And then came back to it and then talked about myself some more and how I fucking feed 4 kills by 11 minutes on Razor against a fucking invoker that's way better than me. That's all I have to say.
Look, I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm lashing out at you because it's usually Wazoo who's the one who's doing that to me. All right?
You should lash out at yourself, bro.
Yeah.
You should really.
Hey, I was there. All right. Okay. I was the 2K support who did what you wanted. I was the one who showed up.
Just some encouragement to the other people, dude. I don't know what I expect. Blackheart, I'm mostly mad at you. Because it's like I said, it's the pick. It's the fact that I played Razor, a hero that I'm not very good with.
And maybe Viper. Maybe Viper was the pick there.
We were saying Viper. Everybody's saying Viper. I think that I probably would have done better against an Invoker as Viper because I went through my Viper phase. Razor, I just when my Q's on cooldown and I can't find a target to latch to. Don't know what the fuck to do. And yeah, I probably was out of position. But you guys will have the match ID in the notes to go see for your fucking selves.
And I'm also not mad about that game. Like, I don't really
I wasn't
care.
mad about that game after, but, like, all of a sudden I got, like, Hulk triggered, dude. I'm serious. I did. Like, you're, like, fucking, like... You've died 4 times.
You were calling the support door. You're getting all pissed. I was like, all right, if you want to get heated, like, we can go this direction. We can pass blame around.
But it's like, what is a death? Like, if we are to quantify a death in Dota, it's usually you doing something dumber than the other person, right?
Sure.
Or, so it's like
very rarely is it you doing
something smart. Like, yeah, there are funny instances, and that's why Dota what the fuck exists or whatever. But, like, most of the time, if you die, it's because you did something wrong and they did something right, or you just did something terribly wrong.
Right. Yeah.
Like, I was like, yeah, dude, he's better than me. Like, every single time I died, I was like, I'm sorry I died. Gonna continue dying.
That's fine. So, where I wanted to go with this, like, the question I wanted to ask you with all of this, before
I just took some. What lowers blood pressure really quickly? Because, like, damn, dude. Wow. Like, I felt like Rhinoceros Sven hit God Strength, dude, and then popped my emo. Whatever, dude.
What it made me think was, you and I always got a ton of shit for it, and it's probably the wrong thing. We probably are doing it wrong. But maybe we revive, maybe on our AD2L team even, we should just revive Gank Squad, let you be in that fucking shot calling position, because you are talkative during the matches. Like, I'm usually looking around, and I guess, like, I don't know, my sense is always... I don't want to, like, cloud comms. I don't want to, like, talk about shit uselessly, and I get the value in it, and, like...
Now, you've picked up the how's your lane going. You're starting to do that.
I try to do that, but even that feels unnecessary, usually, because I feel like I feel like the reason comms are there...
Well, some people won't tell you if their lane's going bad. That's why you ask them.
Sure, but I feel like Joy...
And that's why I usually ask...
On our team, Joy Thief is always the one who's...
Vocal.
Hey, guys, I am free farming up here, and it's ridiculous. He lets us know somewhere along the way how well the lane's going, or hey, I'm not going to get anything out of this lane. I'm just going to get XP.
But if you think back on Gank Squad, we never ever revealed in the lanes, and that was the biggest part about Gank Squad. Was that
for sure.
If you show yourself, Gank Squad's over for that lane.
We treated every lane like a solo lane, and then we decided to go wherever we needed to go.
We were firefighters, as we put it, and we put fires out, and that's what I was hoping to get, is that you guys would just suddenly
get that.
Flutter away from bottom where Ander was going to live. He was Sven. He already had his helm of Dom. He didn't have Dom, but he had the yellow helmet, the one that gives you 5 armor and regen.
He was solo via Dragon Knight. The Dragon Knight couldn't kill him.
Dragon Knight can't kill him with breathe fire.
He couldn't kill the Dragon Knight. Sure.
It was like a stalemate. But I could die. And that's why I was like, okay, that's a 1 lane, or at least the neutral lane, no matter what happens. Tidehunter's not going to die, or Darkseer.
But you're not going to get those kind of rotations out of me and Blackheart, and here's why. She and I don't play enough together. We don't play when we do play together, we don't always play supports together.
It's like playing Dota, dude. Like moving with your supports.
There's something else that's got to be there. There's some level of communication, and like, and honestly, I'll tell you why I think Gank Squad worked so well for you and me when we were playing those games. And like, I remember those games as maybe some of my fondest memories in Dota, because we would get comments constantly like, I have never had support like this. I have never seen supports like this.
That's just what supports
commends
do.
And tips and everything out the fucking wazoo.
Just what supports do. Like, if you watch Ham, it's pretty fucking easy. Like, Fafnir, who is considered maybe the worst player on Ham, but still a very good player, he needs to be when he needs to be there.
That also worked because we were doing push to talk on our mics, not open mic. We were chatting we were talking constantly between the two of us about what we were going to do and where we were going to go, and then we were communicating it to the team after the fact.
We'd usually just do a sweep. We'd do a top. We'd start in off lane. We'd make sure the ward was planted. We'd hide. Hiding was the key factor, and that's where where I had the biggest issue with the support coming mid. Now all you're doing is taking away experience and not hiding, showing
folks can go back and watch that. I hid for a long time. I hid up there. I planted that ward so that we could see the Tidehunter coming and tried to wait. We just didn't have
the... It goes by so quick when you're just getting owned. It goes by so quick when you're owning. It's just Dota. It's like a different time zone.
Well, and it's hard to remember. Like, I can't recall a game with, like, perfect accuracy.
I wasn't even mad at that game, which is crazy. Like, I've been way more mad at games recently, but, like, I just feel like I'm in the school of rhetoric, but I fucking hate rhetorical questions, dude. Like, why have you died 4 times?
Right.
Is what that felt like. Is it a fucking rhetorical question of, like, Because
I feel right.
I did 4
and the
really
reason
dumb
I asked
things.
is because you were asking
why.
rhetorical questions yourself. Like, why was Blackheart down in the bottom lane? Well, because on the flip side, here's another like way that game could have gone. The
I'm like,
two supports
baby rage. This is the closest I've ever baby raged.
Maybe
I am baby raging.
The two supports could have parked in safe lane and fucking zoned out that Dragon Knight. And at 6 minutes, when you had died 4 times, the Dragon Knight
11 minutes. Thank you.
11. I'm sorry. I rotated
Please don't sell me short.
I'm sorry. At 11, but like at that 11 minutes, while you were losing that lane super hard, they could have been losing that lane even worse because we could have zoned that DK to the point where he didn't get XP. I mean, we could, he's that easy to zone.
Sure, but okay, at the same time, you have a level 1 Dragon Knight, say by 11 minutes. Say you have done what no other team except like a pro team could do to these scrubs and made it so he's dropped his talon on the ground, his iron talon, and you've killed it, and then he's brought another one and you've killed it.
Then we get an early tower. We force the mid to make rotations.
I'm just saying,
we free up your lane to start catching up.
The Invoker is what was winning that game. Like, think about every way that Wazoo died, every way that I died.
And you're right. The Invoker is the reason we lost that
and
game.
BKB was the answer, but the problem is nobody could get the gold for it.
No. Sven eventually did, but it was way too late.
And I was never going to get there.
And probably you should have done it before Ags.
And that's why we were like, okay, that's fine. Well, yeah, Ags was dumb. And I was like, I've died so many times, I'll just provide push. Andrew's doing well, I'll just provide push. I'll get in Aghanims. If we can just wipe them... We needed the
AoE damage, though, I think.
I just was like, if we can just wipe them, we can just sweep on through them, is what I was thinking.
Regardless.
Yeah.
The reason we lost that game, yes, was because of the Invoker, and it's because there were several strategies available.
What was his
MMR?
No, 27-1?
Yeah, 27-1.
Yeah. So, like, you can imagine what I went through being, like, 17 of those 27 against this guy who was just, like...
Yeah, he was a great fucking player.
Speaking in Spanish to me as well. And I guess...
I can't remember what he called you, but it was something I had never seen before.
Yeah, and I guess I just bottled that rage up, and you know how a bottle only has like 2 minutes?
You were getting salty in the game, and then you were like, I'm going to try to not be salty, I'm going to try to just pull this out.
I did calm myself down in the game, which was like... You know those cold things they put on boxers' eyes when they're like when they're getting beat up?
Sure.
Like that's like I got one of those and like
you had
temporarily.
Your Dota cut man in there.
Yeah. He put down the stool and I sat down and he's like, "You're getting fucked up out there."
We didn't.
And I was like, "I know I'm getting fucked up."
And I'm as much to blame as Blackheart in the sense that like I could have just and I don't mean this in like a rude way or like a targeting way. I could have ignored you.
I think
and I could have stayed bot.
I don't think I can get targeted again.
Or she could or she should have rotated with me. Like we didn't execute either of the strategies that were available to us, which were either let you lose that lane and concede it, or invest from another lane that was winning to try to take it back. And we didn't properly execute either of those plans.
And
we tried to do both.
I just don't even know like what the plan necessarily was with the team, because we had like comes on early Razor. We had somebody that like comes on hopefully by like the 25-minute mark, Sven. We have 2 offensive
I think
supports?
we did what we always do when we fuck up the draft, and that is we tried to like pick things that countered the other team instead of contemplating what our team was supposed to do.
And Lion Disruptor, like I don't know if that's the best pairing. I feel like maybe not banning the Ricky didn't. I think we had first pick, and first picking Ricky would have been maybe even more because we knew this team played Ricky. And we will be fine with dealing with the Slardar, especially if you get a Yules or if you get a Diffusal or whatever you do.
Fuck Slardar anyway, because you have to reveal yourself before you can do that shit.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, honestly, this game, it would be an interesting one to analyze because...
Except that we're not going to play with this team with consistency.
No.
You know
just for draft purposes, because it's like... I remember being pretty happy with the draft until the Razor pick, and I wonder if a Viper would have made the difference that we needed... or I probably still would have just been owned by that Invoker. Like, he can burst. What do you need for Viper? Burst. What was he doing? Quas Exort. What is his main bread and butter? Sunstrike. What is it? Pure. What is it? Burst. You know what I mean? I don't know. When we saw that, we let the Invoker through, and when we saw it, none of us were worried. And there's a reason Invoker's banned all the time. Because these motherfuckers... play Invoker every fucking game, and they go 4-0-4-1, okay, and they Sunstrike, and they miss 100 million times, and then they hit 3 times or 4 times on you, and then you get a salty taste in your mouth, and then Invoker loses to Io on an Arcana, okay? Shit like that happens.
Yeah.
There's huge repercussion for all you
Yeah.
fucking 404 fuckers out there playing Quas Exort. And guess what? We pick Invoker and we go 404 every time we get an Invoker, but fuck you guys, is all I have to say.
Yeah, I much prefer the Invoker.
You like ruined my night.
I'm sorry.
Fucking 404. Cool Invoker, dude. Haven't seen that one.
All right, I'm
Fucking
doing it.
Sunstrike.
I'm closing it. If you guys want to find us,
God,
we're
awaken the salt monster, dude. I have risen, dude. Like I'm ready for TI so I can salt shaker more than PPD, dude.
we're defenseofthepatients.com. Follow us on
I
Twitter.
sincerely apologize. Like I'm just angry
I don't
right
care.
now. I'm gonna like punch
I'm not
something,
angry at
dude.
all. Like I knew that I was gonna provoke it. That's why I said I was like, all right, we're gonna do
There's
this.
a fiery beast, dude. Yeah, fiery soul, dude. I played ability draft and I only got one passive, dude.
Follow us on Twitter at @p_show. Find us on Facebook. That's where you find out about the shows like the second they get published. Because I don't know how to change it otherwise, and don't care to learn.
Who fucking cares? Who fucking cares?
Find us on iTunes and leave us reviews, like the one that we read earlier on this episode. It was a great review. I'm glad.
It was a really funny review, Baylog. Thank you.
It was satisfying.
And I think
to
I
see.
satisfied your review this episode as
Yeah.
well as every other. So I got you, buddy.
Yeah, stay tuned for that special Wednesday show.
Probably happened.
Let's see. Find us on YouTube, youtube.com/.ptv1. All the episodes are going up live there. Just check that podcast playlist or the video section if it's not in the podcast playlist, because sometimes I forget to add them. And yeah, all the new episodes up there now as well. I think that's going to be it. Remember, we're going to be at the Royal Gaming Cafe. That's 4341 University
And if you
Way.
pick Invoker while you're there
In Seattle.
and if you go 404, there's gonna be no reason why I don't kick your ass like I just kicked Denny's ass.
It's
in between the
Royal
break.
Gaming Cafe,
Yeah.
4341 University
And Grouty,
Way,
fuck
Northeast
you.
Seattle.
Fuck you, Grouty, for trying to get that fucking Invoker set so you can
It's gonna
404
be
with your Invoker set.
7:30 p.m.
Fucking Grouty.
7:30 p.m.
That's what I'm mad
after
at.
the event. About 7:30 p.m. We're not sure quite when we're gonna get there.
Grouty. You should
kinda
you should
depends.
probably plug the in-houses.
The in-houses aren't happening this week,
Oh yeah, they're over.
but thanks, Grady, anyway.
Grouty, you did a great job, dude. You really did.
Expect the in-houses to come back like a week or two after TI, probably.
So when Grouty hits level 2000 on his battle pass, does he get 2 Aegises?
Yeah, probably.
Really?
I would hope so. Oh my god, if you don't, that's
I bet they're
disgusting.
just like, I'm sorry, dude. Like, you know,
Maybe they donate an Aegis to charity.
to me. But no, I've really
You
contemplated.
need
It's $301, and I'm like, that would be
What
memorabilia.
will we ever do with that thing?
It comes in like a picture frame. So, and it's like 1/4.
Do you
So
think it will make you
1/5.
immortal?
No, I just think it would be a cool like
Could I
memorabilia thing. to
Carry
have.
the Aegis in case I die of lung cancer so I can come back?
I don't think it'll be lung cancer.
Might be lung cancer. Either that or a heart attack.
You know, it could be dying in a car accident because you think Mustangs are cool and you're
Yeah.
too busy bending your neck looking at another Mustang while driving your own Mustang and then you crash, dude.
Yeah, could be that. Could be
I
that.
don't know.
Yeah, so remember Royal Gaming Cafe. It'll be about 7:30.
I just don't want brain cancer, I think. Like that.
Oh, yeah.
I think brain cancer would probably be the worst.
And Alzheimer's. I'd like to. at
I'm
least
fine
be
with
aware.
Alzheimer's.
I know
Like,
you say that, but
I-
like,
like
that's
we've always
actually my
talked
worst
about.
fear is like living life and not knowing who I am. Yeah.
I already do that, dude. So it's like, I guess I don't fear
Or
what
just
I
not
am.
having perception, like local perception.
I already don't have any local perception or memory, so it's like, having Alzheimer's ain't that bad, dude. I have very early stages.
Kicking
but
in at like 24.
Here's the thing, like, and I've already told my wife this. You don't have to pay for an expensive place, because trust me, I won't really notice if I get the Alzies.
Yeah.
And anybody who's had that in their family, it is a terrible thing, and I really, I don't mean to make
wanna
light of
couch
it.
it right.
I don't mean to make light of it, but just send me away, Castaway. Drop me off, you know what I mean? Like, let me go.
Oh
Just
my
consider
God.
me dead. Have a wake.
Like,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Just
yeah.
make sure the check's cut. I don't make me go.
No, you
become
gotta
like
die.
homeless.
You gotta die proper because I get to take a shot at your. I get to take a shot like
at my
Blackfish
canoe
style.
Yeah, and my canoe that's
Yeah.
going down that's set at like up with oil.
Yeah. I think I get 2 shots.
I said you could have 2 shots.
Yeah.
But it's gotta be from like a pretty good distance. Like you would try and take shots from a nominal distance, and it would be like, no, dude,
And
that
then we'll
doesn't
let
count.
somebody who actually does archery come in and handle it.
That would be cool, dude. Off Niagara, dude.
Viking funeral.
Off Niagara, dude. that would be a great way to not get to enjoy because I'm dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've never understood. We were just talking about these death rituals and stuff like that. It's like, it's for the people, man.
Yeah. And that one should be for us.
Yeah.
So that's what we requested.
I thought you guys were going to, like, sink a ship together or something.
Oh, well, I mean, I do have a death pact with a good friend of mine, Nick, where whoever dies last out of me and a bunch of them, we're going to go out to the coordinates of R'lyeh, and then the last one alive sinks the ship with all of our ashes. So,
Oh, my God.
yeah. You know, that way we can join...
No wonder my mom thinks I'm Satan.
Yeah, that way we can join Cthulhu as he rises to cleanse the world of this mortal scum.
He would be an ancient, wouldn't he? Wouldn't he be? Cthulhu,
He's
an
an
ancient
old one.
An
He's
old one. Is that
yes.
past ancient?
There's the deep ones, the old ones,
The ancient.
and then the outer gods.
Close us out.
Until next time, this is Cyphus for Roland and the great Cthulhu who slumbers beneath the oceans.
The salt shaker.
And the salt shaker.
I'm really sorry. Like, I feel bad, but it was all directed at Cyphus, so it wasn't any of it directed at Blackheart. Although I will say she is the reason we lost. Definitely the reason we lost. But
Cyphus for Roland, Cthulhu, Blackheart, salt shakers, saying good luck and Godspeed. I'm Cyphus and I think I sound funny.